Greetings, greenhouse people, and welcome to another installment of Tech on Demand, where our goal is always to bring you tips, tricks, and information to select and produce your best crops ever. I'm your host, Bill Calkins, and I'm happy to be joined by Lauren Kilpatrick, the technical trial manager for Syngenta Flowers, who brings a unique perspective to this discussion of combination planters, because although combos need to be beautiful and attract eyeballs at retail, first and foremost, they need to work in a professional greenhouse from propagation to finish. With a BS in Hort from Texas A&M and an MS in Hort from NC State, and 5 years with Syngenta Flowers in technical roles, Lauren understands plants and real-world production scenarios. In her current role, she leads a team dedicated to sharing knowledge of new products, generating data for global alignment, and creating impactful messaging. And that all comes together to allow Syngenta to create grower-friendly programs that deliver not only functional beauty, but that extend sales windows into multiple seasons. From multi-liners in the Kwik Kombos program to the new Patio Playbook concept of trialed and tested recipes that include annuals, perennials, mums, and a whole lot more, get ready to learn why Syngenta's combos offer a wide range of advantages and opportunities for growers and greenhouses of all shapes and sizes. Lauren, welcome to Tech on Demand.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me here, Bill. I'm really excited.
For sure. And as we just discussed, we're both here in Cleveland area in Ohio, and we have an absolutely beautiful day heading into Mother's Day weekend, which I think is going to be exciting for certainly all the growers and retailers in our area because it's been kind of rainy and cold.
Yeah, definitely. I know for sure I'm excited to get out into the garden this weekend and put some plants in.
So before we dive into combos, why don't we debrief a little bit on spring trials, because Cast wasn't too long ago, and you and I talked out there, but I hadn't been through the Syngenta trial yet, so I hadn't seen all the cool stuff that you guys had to show, and I really haven't had a chance to pick your brain on it yet. I liked this concept that you guys showed of teamwork, and we talked a little bit to Allison and some other folks that teamwork wasn't just about the people, it was also about the plants, and I just thought that was a really neat way to frame everything out in Gilroy. Can you talk a little bit about that framework, and maybe, I don't know, why don't you shout out a few of your favorites from the trials?
Yeah, absolutely. I loved our cast theme this year too, rooted in teamwork. So it was really centered around not only bringing together our Syngenta team, but also everyone in the industry who makes it possible. So, everything that we do is in collaboration. So it was really cool to be able to highlight that. And a lot of our displays incorporated team events or sporting events. So that was really fun. And throughout all of our displays, we had a lot of combo planters. Mm-hmm. So also kind of tying that theme even down to our plants and how a lot of them can work well together and be beautiful combos as well. There is a lot that we displayed, but a couple of my favorites were definitely our new Eye Candy Begonia series. It's a vegetative begonia with really beautiful large double flowers on a chocolate foliage. So I think that's going to be really exciting for growers coming up this year. And then also a new addition to our Seed Sunfinity, the red yellow bicolor. I think it's really beautiful. It complements the series well. Same culture as our OG Seed Sunfinity as well. So just a really nice addition to that too.
Yeah, the eye candy were absolutely stunning. And you guys had quite a few seed and vegetative. Like it was a good mix this year, I think, of both types. And in addition, you guys had cut flowers, vegetables, cyclamen.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, it was, to me, that the diversity of plant material that we saw in Gilroy was really representative of our industry, and it's something that I know is important to you guys and your team, but I also think it's important for our industry to see that there is innovation happening across all product types.
Yeah, absolutely. It was incredible to see. And it's always nice at Cast, like you said, where we're able to showcase a lot of our portfolio and have it all in one space. So
It was great. And I think that diversity of plant material maybe could be a segue into our discussion today, because we are going to talk about combos, which is, I mean, it's a term we use in our industry for any sort of mixed container or mixed planting. I've even seen combos discussed in the landscape. Like, I mean, that's just how we use plant material, and how, I think even more importantly, how gardeners think of the plant material when they walk into a garden center is, how can I mix this stuff up? And it always surprises me when I see my friends who are not in the industry, and they're always super confused about how to put plants together. I think, my mom knows how to put plants together. She's been doing it for years. She knows kind of intuitively what works. But,
Mhm.
my cousin, who's, in her first home and figuring out how to use the plants and beautify her garden and patio, is frequently confused. And I think what you guys are doing with combos is a really good example of how our industry is working from the supplier breeder level to make it easier. And at spring trials, like you mentioned, we saw a lot of combos at Syngenta's location. We saw the Kwik Combo, the multi-liners and trays, which, as kind of plant nerds, our team was really excited about. We could pull them out of the plug tray and look at them, and also grown out examples on racks. And I think most of our viewers probably know Kwik Combos. I mean, you guys have had those for many years, but I think that as these programs evolve, it's interesting to look at them again and to understand them from your perspective, who's helping to put these together, and also some of the technical and cultural tricks and nuances to producing them to their highest quality. There are a lot of advantages to multi-stick liners that offer benefits over the traditional way of kind of putting combos together or planting the young plants individually. So why don't you take us through Kwik Combos a little bit, share some of your thoughts on the program, some tips for growers, and where the Syngenta team is evolving Kwik Combos for the future.
For those who aren't familiar, our Kwik Combos are designed to be rooted together as a multi-liner, like you said, Bill. And we actually have over 70
Wow.
different combos. Yeah, I just checked that today to count how many were in our assortment. So really a full color range, and they're also divided into early season, mid season, and late. So giving you color for every season and also every region. Our combos have both single species mixes, so straight petunias, or also multi-species mixes, so combining, a Cali with a lobelia and a petunia or verbena. And we do a lot of testing, both in propagation, greenhouse, and through finish to make sure that our Kwik Combos can be successfully rooted together, grown together, and then perform at retail for our consumer. So that it really does take all of the guesswork out of production, but then also it's just really easy for the consumer to come pick up a beautiful Kwik Combo at their local retail store and have the nice longevity of it all throughout the season. So like I said, we have color for every season in every region. And just to kind of expand a little bit more on that, I think at Cast we showed this
Mhm.
really well. Like you said, we had beautiful rack displays of a lot of our combos grown out. And we color coded it this year, which made me really happy because I love color coding. But for each of our different, late season, mid season, and early season mixes, we have a ton of color options ranging from jewel tones to peach tones, really nice pastel colors. So depending on either what time of year you're looking at doing a combo or even where you're growing it, then that would, influence if you're choosing a late, mid, or early season mix based on the species that are in there. And it's also really great for retail programs that are looking for a certain color to be put in stores across, the states, but you want to be conscious of making sure that if you're growing something for the deep south, that you're using plants that can hold up to that heat. So you can still choose a color option that's similar to something that could be grown up in the north that has different plant species that work better for that climate. So it's really nice how we have it kind of laid out in our catalog. It's all broken up into the different regions, and we have a full list of the plant species in each mix as well.
I think that was the first time we've seen that breakdown, making the different color palettes available regionally, seasonally, and helping retailers plan the programs that they're going to message on, but then helping the retailers and growers align on the actual products that are going to go into those mixes, so that you're right, it can be, I guess it makes display more impactful when you do see those blocks of color palettes. But I don't remember seeing that before in the past, and the way that you guys laid it out was very understandable, I think, for everybody. I always say if journalists can understand it, then the growers and retailers are really going to understand it.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I love how we kind of reformatted our display to really in line with our messaging, because, visual is everything, especially with plants. So it's cool to have that represented for what we're talking about as well.
True.
So yeah, and then just diving in behind the scenes of new Kwik Kombos. So we're constantly every year evaluating anywhere from 30 to 50 new mixes for potential launches for the next season. As you know, genetics get upgraded or we have new varieties coming out, it really gives us an opportunity to either refresh old mixes or create even new combos. But like I said, since these are designed to be rooted together, we start in the propagation phase to make sure that they can be successfully rooted together as a multi-liner. And then have a greenhouse performance evaluation. So making sure you have really good balance and uniformity to have that impactful retail finish. And then we, of course, do a garden evaluation throughout the summer to make sure just the longevity of the mix is good so that our consumers can also have a mix that performs really well for them. Because like you said, like some people understand how to put together combos and others don't know quite as well. So it's really awesome that we have something that they can be successful with from the start. And keep them wanting to come back and purchase more.
What do you think is the most challenging piece of this puzzle? Is it getting the mixes that root well together? Is it the performance at the production level? I would imagine garden performance follows the first two a little bit, but which of these three stages is the toughest? I mean, you're the trials person. You must look at all three, and I guess which one kicks out the most potentials, or which one do you guys find the most, I guess, strict when it comes to evaluation?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, each stage definitely has its challenge, but starting from the beginning and honestly just making sure that everything is rooting well together, because I think that's kind of the main thing with Kwik Kombos, is making sure that you do have a really nice multi-liner where you aren't having one species that's too vigorous in prop and out, covers up the others and then they don't root. So that very easily right there kind of signals to us which mixes are going to be really good or not even worth spending more time on. And then same trend throughout greenhouse performance, again, just making sure you have good balance. But then you're actually getting to see the blooms together. Yeah. So making sure that the colors actually look good together too is actually can be challenging, because sometimes when you're putting new mixes together and you're you know, you don't have the true plants in front of you and you're kind of going off of pictures, it can be a little challenging to put colors together. So making sure that you have good harmony and balance in the mix, and then just continuing that on through summer.
Makes sense. Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And then just again, for those who maybe aren't familiar with Kwik Kombos, I kind of wanted to highlight some of the technical aspects of rooting a multi-liner, because we know some of our customers still will propagate things separately and then assemble them later at transplant. But when you order a Kwik Kombo, they actually arrive all together. So the 3 components come in individual bags, but those bags are stapled together. So it's really easy to just grab it and then stick it. So you don't have to do the assembly. When you get them, they're already pre-assembled for you. Okay. And then since you are rooting as a multi-liner, we definitely recommend using either a 50 or 72 cell size, you know, that larger cell to hold 2 to 3 species. And we do recommend dibbling it so that it's easier to stick those cuttings, and beginning with the smallest cutting and then finishing with the largest also just helps to make that process go a little bit easier, because that's probably your biggest time up front is, you know, sticking it as a multi-liner. But then that saves you time, you know, at transplant. It also saves you space in prop as well, since you have them all together in the same tray. And then as far as misting groups go, you know, you got your short, medium, and long misting times. And so we recommend for mixes that have multi-species in it to always go with the accordance to the slower rooting species to pick which appropriate mist timing to go with. But like I said, we do a ton of trialing to make sure that you are successful in propagation as well. And then just some additional tips to share too is, in part of our evaluation, we do a shear, because we do recommend pinching or shearing about 2.5 to 3 weeks after sticking, and be sure to use proper sanitation between, you know, your different mixes, since you have a lot of different species going on. B9 is a great PGR to utilize in prop. It works well with a bunch of different species that are all found in our mixes. And then rooting time typically is about 5 weeks for some of our heat-loving mixes. If you're producing them a little later in the season, then they could, you know, go from 4 to 5 weeks. So, but typically about 5 is what you're looking at for a nice rooted multi-liner. And like I said, we have a lot of resources available to help. So this year, in addition to creating a refreshed version of a multi-liner tech sheet, we also have a culture guide now for our Kwik Kombos that matches the format of all of our other culture guides. So we have even more propagation tips and tricks, as well as on the finishing side, you know, different PGR strategies to use for different mixes, and then also recommendations for how many multi-liners per container to utilize as well.
That's awesome. And you guys always have great resources. I will put links to all of these in the show notes for the viewers to click on in the show notes. But definitely always appreciate you and your team putting these together, because they are super helpful. That's great.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think, you know, the Kwik Kombos and all the work that you guys put into them, the fact that you are looking at 30 to 50 new ones each year and not introducing 30 to 50 each year does illustrate the amount of time and effort that you guys put in on the trialing side. And that is super critical, because like I would say, if they don't work in the greenhouse, it really doesn't matter how beautiful the marketing photo is, right? Like growers need to be able to produce these. They need to be confident, and if they're going to assemble them as a multi-liner, they've got to work. So again, thank you to you and your team for all the hard work on this. Kwik Kombos is a program that does take you through, all of spring, right? You have early, mid, and late spring combos available. And, obviously, we're talking here in Mother's Day weekend. This is the key season for our industry, certainly across most of North America. But you guys have a ton of plants in your catalog. Like we talked about, it's a team effort. Your crops come as a team. You guys have a ton of different genetics for all times of the year and all uses. Um, Patio Playbook, that's one that is a new program that we saw this year. Something that got us excited because of the diversity of plant material included, and all the different looks and textures and ways that plants can work together in combos. Where do you want to start with Patio Playbook? Because I think it's a cool new program. It's inspiring, I think, to me and to everyone who saw it this year. Why don't you go ahead and start wherever you want to? I know you're a big fan of Patio Playbook, and I'm
Yes.
interested. I'm interested in your thoughts and how you do message this to growers, because the end result is beautiful, but I think it's the inputs that we're going to talk about today. What goes into Patio Playbook?
Yeah, absolutely. And I love Patio Playbook. I love that we came out with this and debuted it at CAS this year. So our Patio Playbook concept is inspiration for combinations that work with both our vegetative, seed, garden mum, perennial assortments. So this is where you're propagating things separately and then transplanting them together at the same time, so they can be grown together as a finished product. So that's how they're different from our Kwik Kombos, where we're utilizing all the rest of our assortment. But again, we've done all of the work, trialing work for you to really recommend varieties that we know are going to be successful together based on their vigor or light requirements. So that way it's easy for everyone to put together their retail plans. So yeah, let's just jump right in. I'll just walk us through our playbook, where we highlight a bunch of different combos. But most importantly, I want to start with foliage. It can often be something that's overlooked because it's not flowering, it's, just foliage. But it really does offer really nice balance and texture as a foundation to a lot of combos. I'm sure you've probably heard when you're building a combo that you want your filler, thriller, and spiller.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That can't be overstated. I think sometimes within the industry we chuckle about that, but that really is the basis for a well-balanced container. I mean, we all think that through when we make our containers. Everyone who's heard that phrasing thinks that through. I mean, I certainly do here in our garden, and I know that anytime you tell someone who's, novice gardener about that, it clicks. It makes sense in their head. So that's a concept that's not going anywhere. So yeah, good. Go ahead. Start with that. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. It's something that's super easy to remember. It's very translatable to our gardeners, but also, our growers who are putting together these, or retail programs putting together these programs. So it's nice to keep that in mind when you're picking these different items. So foliage is really great to offer both either a filler or a spiller or both. And there's just so many different foliage types that offer either, your bright greens or your dark chocolate leaf tones with Ipomoea, or even different textures like your Mizu or Molenbachia as well. So it's just a really great place to start to make sure that you have that spiller or filler component. So moving through our patio playbook, one of the first things that we actually highlight are coleus combos. And coleus is definitely becoming a fast consumer favorite. I mean, there's just a huge variety of colors and really unique foliage patterns with coleus. And there's just so much diversity within the range. And I love that coleus, especially our Talavera line, can work both well in sun and shade. Which, when you think about it, is perfect for combos because people are most often putting patio containers on their patio, which has both sun and shade.
Yep.
So Talavera works really well with that. We love to pair it with our Spectra New Guinea impatiens. Spectra is an interspecific New Guinea, so it also can tolerate both sun and shade. So offers just really nice bright flowers paired with the coleus as a combo. But then we've also trialed our coleus with lantana as well as petunias. And we found that petunias or even our Bandolista lantana, which is more of that like mounding, spreading habit, works really well with the coleus, which is more upright. So the coleus actually acts as kind of your thriller here. And then you can have either a nice low growing spreading petunia or lantana to be that like filler, thriller, or filler and spiller aspect as well. So
No, those look cool. I agree. The way that the coleus pops out of the top and gives that foliage, but also with some interest in the color and the patterns and the textures. Those are definitely cool and they're super balanced.
yeah, they're really cool and it's unique, right? Like
Hmm.
something that people typically don't see. But also, you know, if you go to the garden center and you see it in a combo, it's something that you could also easily recreate in your landscape as well with these items. And then, of course, straight coleus combos are also really beautiful, just given all the unique color patterns that we have too. So next is a section on heat lovers, which is near and dear to my heart. I am from Texas, and so anytime, and we have a lot of heat loving season extending items in our portfolio. So I love that we started putting together combinations with them to really showcase these genetics a little bit more. One of my favorites that we have is our Medinia Petite Dipladenia series. We came out with these a few years ago. So they're more compact, non-vining dipladenia, which makes them perfect for patio containers. And, you know, they're more drought tolerant, so they can last in a patio container a lot longer than some of our other annuals can, especially in the summer harsh environment. So they pair really well with our pentas. Scavola is also great. You have, you know, especially in those plants, you have your white and pink and red color ranges to make really nice combos. Our Nirvana vegetative vinca
Hmm.
is also another great option too. Vinca is just a really tough plant, so it also pairs well with our pentas. So you have a couple different unique flower forms that just blend really well together. And with the vegetative vinca, you get really cool, unique colors that you don't typically get in seed vinca. So these more novelty colors kind of play it really nicely and more cohesively being used in a mix as well. So
Yeah, these are going to last all summer, and then that dipladenia is going to keep putting out those cool blooms. That's that's a really neat concept, and I understand that it is like perfect for southern markets, but I think even up north you're going to get a little. It's going to be more unique because certainly up where we're at, you don't see a lot of pentas. You don't. I mean, you see scavola, but maybe people haven't thought about that in a while, and then pop in that tropical dipladenia in the middle. I mean, that's a whole new look
yeah, no, I love it. And yeah, I think pentas maybe are a little slept on. Like they
for
have
sure.
beautiful clusters of flowers. They perform so well through summer. And they're a pollinator favorite as well. So
Yeah, no,
just
I
all
agree.
good things.
Yep, and drop that vinca in there. Those are beautiful.
Yeah. And one thing to mention on our vinca, if people, I know vinca can be a little bit slower to root and coming from a vegetative cutting. So we do actually offer a callus cutting,
Hmm.
which will save you 1 to 2 weeks in propagation, but also just ensure that you have a really nice uniform rooted liner that you can, pop into a combo pretty
Yeah.
easily. So now we're moving into perennials. I love using perennials in combos. They're just even more diversified with, plants like lavender that have a really nice fragrance, but then also other that just have more unique flower forms that you don't typically see with your annuals. And perennials are really reliable, and I think a lot of home gardeners love purchasing perennials for that reason. So, utilizing them either has a full perennial combo or even just has like the thriller aspect in a combo being the main focus, but with annuals around it to replace, kind of has added value to the consumer for that reason. Um, and again, just some things to keep in mind. Perennials have a lot of different requirements. We do have a lot of really nice first year flowering perennials, which helps cut down some of the guesswork there as well. But you want to be sure that you're selecting species that have similar photo periods, temperature requirements, and fertility requirements as well, just to make sure that you're going to have a really nice, successful combo when putting these together. And you can always, pare down containers to just put a few species in to make it more budget friendly, or really go all out with even larger, beautiful displays to make a really nice premium container.
And that's one where I think you're trialing and research and putting these combos together based on understanding how they work together is really beneficial for growers because they can be challenging with photo periods, with different, I mean, using first year flowering things you might not be extremely familiar with to have a recipe laid out in front of you that creates this kind of, I mean, you're right, perennial combos are absolutely beautiful. I was in West Chicago earlier this week, and I raided the greenhouses a little bit and pulled some combos out, and
Nice.
they're obviously all in flower at the moment, which I'm not going to necessarily find at retail, but certainly sitting in my driveway, and I'm going to build combos out of them just because they are beautiful, and I know, like you said, they're gonna perform all through the summer, and maybe I'll put them in the garden, maybe I won't at the end of the year, but either way, they're gonna look cool. So. I'm a,
Yeah,
I'm a fan of
absolutely.
perennial combos, and I love that you guys included this in Patio Playbook. That's great.
Yeah, me too. And that kind of leads us into garden mom
Yeah.
combos. Something fun and different. Well, I guess maybe not so different. I mean, garden mom
No, it's
combos have
different.
been around for a while, but
Yeah,
we're
but you don't
putting
see them
in,
very often. Like
yeah,
you could probably go into 10 garden centers in the fall and maybe find true combos with different species than chrysanthemums in maybe one of them, one out of 10.
yeah, absolutely. So this was something that we started trialing last summer, actually, and came out with a few favorites where we obviously know that cool season annuals work really well with garden mums, like your snapdragons and kale. Um, but we also trialed some of our fall crops like gaillardia and coleus and zinnias that like it warmer, that are good season extenders and also have those like fall colors in them. And they turned out to be some really beautiful combos that just offered a really nice, unique look that definitely got me very excited for fall. Um, and also by incorporating these different plants, you have kind of extended bloom time that just works really nicely with that garden mum that really is only going to be in flower for 5 to 6 weeks.
Yeah.
So incorporating other plants in there can extend that and offer even more enjoyment for our consumers.
Well, and you'll watch the mums emerge. Like the mums will come into bloom as your combo gets bigger and bigger. That to me is a really cool idea. I want to see if I can find some of those. Please, if you're a wholesaler, look at this and ship them to retail in the Cleveland area, because these are great. And I do, it's totally different, right? And we have a different customer base shopping at garden centers right now. We have an emerging customer base that wants pre-made stuff, and they want combos, and they want to just pop them down on the patio, and know that they're gonna last for that season. So I think for fall, this is a potential big win for any wholesaler.
Yeah, exactly. It's convenient. You get really beautiful colors out of it. It's unique. I think for a lot of people who also are, in apartments and have small
Yeah.
spaces, like this really gives them something to look forward to put on their doorstep each year. And then, yeah, like you said, just mixing in the different species so they either are blooming earlier, like coming into flower maybe a little earlier than the mum, so you could, hit your target ship week, even if your mum's delayed, and then you still have flowers coming up throughout the mum, and then even after it goes away for that continued enjoyment. So tons of opportunity out there, a
Yeah,
lot of cool things to go with it. So I hope a lot of people start trialing it this year, and we also start seeing them in our garden centers.
definitely, definitely. Um, oh, geraniums.
Oh,
Yeah, I remember
yeah,
you
I
guys
know.
showed a lot.
I
So you
got
guys
one
showed a
more.
lot of geranium combos last year. I remember that. You had a big display of them in 2024 spring trials. And then we saw even more, and now it's part of Patio Playbook.
Yeah, absolutely. So last year we put together a huge geranium combo display, like you were saying, with a lot of our calliopes. This year at Cast, we also had a lot of mojo combos. And so it's just something I wanted to touch on too. It's like geraniums have been in the industry for so long. They're a really nice flower that people look forward to seeing, but I love seeing them as geranium combos.
Mm.
Again, just offering, you know, a really nice, impactful display at retail, getting people excited to see them already put together. And you can, with the different geranium species, you can put together some really nice straight geranium combos. Like we love using our Cascade White to kind of be that spiller effect, and then mixing that in with our calliopes as more of like the thriller fillers. Um, so again, just something to think about to kind of refresh the look of geraniums and offer something new to customers as well. But again, a quick tech tip here is just to make sure that you're paying attention to what geraniums you're mixing together, since your zonal geraniums and interspecific geraniums have different pH requirements. So just be aware of that. But here at Syngenta, we have you covered. We put together a geranium custom combo pamphlet that's available online, where we give our recipes to our successful mixes, and also plantograms that help you, figure out how the target number of plants per pot, and also the arrangement that we recommend putting them together. And so you have a nice, beautiful, balanced mix. And there's some other tech tips in there too for production.
That is excellent. Excellent. I will put links to that as well. Yeah, mixing geraniums just adds a different dimension to geraniums, and it gives that instant impulse grab. It's going to work well. I mean, people are familiar with geraniums. They're kind of a bulletproof plant in most gardens, a go-to, and having a new look and new options, I think, is always good. And obviously, I like the idea of your calliope as that thriller. That's that stunning big bloom, beautiful plant. And then I'm gonna have to try using the Cascade White as a spiller, because you don't think of geraniums as filling and spilling. You think of them as upright. But you're right. There's new genetics that definitely will fit that profile. That's cool.
Yeah, there's a lot out there, so it's really cool to be able to put together these things, and again, just give inspiration to people. So
Mhm.
you can take it home and do it.
And thank you so much for weaving the technical tips in throughout this presentation because you're right. You guys have done the work and you understand how the plants grow, the different needs in terms of environmental conditions and selection of, for the light, temperature, PGRs, shearing, all the different techniques that you shared. So thank you so much for that. Do you have any other technical best practices or any other thoughts on how to be successful with combo programs, whether it is Kwik Kombos or Patio Playbook or any other genetics that folks are putting together into combos?
Yeah, absolutely. So again, just considering, knowing the genetics is key, thinking about the plant heights and their growth habits when you're putting together mixes, keeping in mind your filler, thriller, spiller, and what components are going to be what. Really trying to balance their water and light requirements because that in the end will make it successful, not only for those who are growing it, but for the longevity consumer end of it as well. And going in with that with the same soil and fertilizer needs too. Plant growth regulators can be a little bit tricky. For instance, you can't put bonsai on a vinca. So being mindful of your vinca combos and, choosing the correct PGR strategy based on the varieties that you have in there as well. And just have fun with it. I think combos are an excellent way to utilize unique and novel genetics, especially as we are coming out with some fun one-off, unique colors and patterns. So it's a great way to showcase these things and just have a really beautiful combo that will last all throughout the season.
That's great. And you're right. People should have fun with it, but based on the understanding of the plant's requirements. There's plenty of flowers in our industry, so it's you can have a lot of fun and still be very mindful of what you can produce and ship and will hold up at retail and then also hold up in customers' gardens. And that's really why I think it's great to talk with you today about Kwik Kombos and Patio Playbook because the thought has been put in behind these programs at all levels of the chain, like you said, from propagation all the way up through finishing and performance in a garden. So have fun, follow the rules, and you'll have success, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And like we've mentioned throughout, the team at Syngenta Flowers has produced a lot of great resources. It's one of the things that you guys are known for. Where can folks go to see these combos that you put together, find some of the production tips? You mentioned a few, and I'll put links to those in the show notes. But where's a good place to go to find all these resources?
Yeah, so all of the things I mentioned, culture guides, the Patio Playbook pamphlet, the custom geranium combo pamphlet, all of those resources can be found on our Syngenta Flowers website. Also, our YouTube channel. So we have some great videos on our YouTube channel that highlight summer trials, showcasing how Kwik Kombos are doing our summer trials, but then also some great production tips and recaps of casts too. If you missed it, you can see some of those displays there too.
Cool. Awesome. Those are great resources. I'll put them in the show notes for sure. Before we close, I always ask this question because I don't like it when we hang up and realize that something slipped through the cracks. Have we missed anything, or is there anything you want to mention or reiterate before we wrap up today, Lauren?
Just that there is so much out there, and you can do so much and create really beautiful combos that are unique and exciting. And we built the resources, so please utilize them. If you want to put in a trial, reach out to your area manager. We're happy to work with you and help set them up so that you can test it out, with our patio playbooks and make sure that they're right for you. Or, if you have ideas for combos and want to double check on vigors or minimum photo period requirements, we have all of this information. So we're just happy to help. And our Kwik Kombos, they're ready made, they're successful. So check them out.
Awesome. And I will reiterate, definitely, if you want to do trials, if you want to see how these things work in your greenhouse, in your region, reach out to the folks on the Syngenta Flowers team, and they will definitely hook you up and learn from your experiences as well. I think we talk about it a lot in our industry, that we share a lot of great information free of charge, but the payback is really trialing it, relaying the information back in, creating that feedback loop that helps everybody be more successful. Well, Lauren, once again, I really do appreciate your time today, all the effort that you and the Syngenta Flowers team put in to the products and programs you bring to market. You guys are some of the best in the business. And I appreciate you taking the time to walk us through this. And again, thank you so much. Hopefully you have a great weekend gardening.
Thank you. You too. I mean, I'm sure we will. It's absolutely gorgeous outside. So,
Heck yeah, we better wrap this up so we can get out. And first we should finish work today because it is
right.
midday on a Friday. But maybe there's some gardening that can be done.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Bill. It was awesome.
For sure. And I'm Bill Calkins with Tech on Demand, reminding you to hit the like and subscribe buttons on YouTube. You'll never miss an episode that way. If you're listening to this as a podcast, please subscribe to Tech on Demand on your favorite app. And if you have a second to leave us a positive review, I'm sure that everyone would appreciate it. So on behalf of Lauren and the awesome team at Syngenta Flowers, take care out there. Happy growing.